Hello, my name's Matthew Lloyd-Winder. I'm a stained glass artist and I'd like to invite you into my studio to see the making of the Madagascan day gecko. As you see here, we've got a line drawing which I've put on the light box and traced the painted lines onto the toughened glass, and here you'll see some of the detail that I've achieved, and here you see the end result, which is in colour. Pretty spectacular in my opinion. Absolutely love it. It's the first time I've done anything quite like this, and I hope you enjoy watching.
Good morning from sunny South Mims. It's freezing here in the studio. It's not sunny at all, but what would make it sunny would a trip to Madagascar, where this I'm painting a Madagascan day lizard, and that's just a photocopy of its face there. It's a beautiful green lizard. They can grow quite big, and it's got beautiful red markings in it as well, and I was asked to make one for a bathroom. On the light box here, I'm going to switch the lights on and have to adjust probably the, yeah, you see you can't see a thing. I'm going to have to adjust the exposure here so you can see it. There we go, that's probably a bit better. As you can see, I've painted it on a single sheet of glass. The traces, basically all the dark lines there. You can't see the lizard as such, but that's the flowers in the corner and some vines hanging down. My next step is to get some detail in there. So this is just the outline, the line drawing really. And the way I'll do that is in a traditional manner. I shall be applying a matte to the surface, which is essentially a paint which, before it gets fixed into the glass, I can then pick out. So it's like I'm scraping the highlights up, bringing the highlights up by scraping away the paint, if you like, stopping the light coming through and allowing the light coming through in other places. Use a big brush. I love big brushes. Here we go. And this is the paint that I previously mixed. I want to get it darker down in this corner than anywhere else. Well, this bottom half really. And in this corner here, I'll put a bit more pigment on at this point. I'm working quite fast because I've got to get it all on the glass before it dries off. I've got a bit of darkness up in this dark corner here. I can always add a bit more later if I need to. I'm going to add a bit of water in there to lighten it up. Just give it a little bit less density. And that looks like a bit of a mess. I can understand you saying that. Get a bit more pigment in there. Let's see if I can add a bit more dark down the bottom of the deft motion. Right, so at the moment this is pretty uneven, so I use a badger, which is a beautiful 4-inch badger there, and give it a bit of a blend. And again, this is beginning to dry out a little bit, which is not so clever. You can always add a bit more water to that. Trying to move it around a little bit so that I can get some moisture in that area. Get that going again. So you've got to work pretty quickly. You don't want it drying prematurely. That's a pretty good start. Now I don't know whether you can see any of that. Let's see if I can bring the camera around. Technology, look at that. Strobing out. Right. Well look, okay. That's blown it, isn't it?
It's basically, you see the day gecko there, the Madagascan day gecko. All the flowers in the corner, the vines coming down, the tree going up and down, and then more flowers in the corner. So all that looks very messy at the moment, but when that's dry, what I'll do is I'll pick it out with scrub brushes and picks and all sorts of stuff, and I can highlight all the lighter areas and keep all the dark areas dark. Once that's done, I'll show you again. So all the brown paint that I've covered the glass with has now dried, and I've been able to pick out some of the highlights. Still got a long way to go, but I thought I'd show you the halfway process. By leaving some areas light and some areas dark, you can get some really good sculptural qualities about it. There's really a huge amount of detail that you can get in there, and as you see here, I've been working on the back of the lizard. All those little dots are individually produced by hand, and they're placed in exact locations as best I can to mimic the skin. So these flowers here, they're only about 2 centimeters across, but there's so much detail that you can get into it using this technique. It's fantastic. It's time consuming, but it really does pay off. So you see here I'm adding some colour. This is the first stages of the colouring process. I left the background till last, but you can see here underneath the chin of the lizard I've added some more shading, and this is the well, you can see it's the eye. He's looking at you, kid. So there you are. That's the background that I ended up with, but I did have another couple of choices. This was one of them. I thought it was a little bit messy. It was fighting against what was going on there, and this one here I think was a little, I don't know, a bit schmaltzy really. So there's a lot that you can do with this technique. There's a huge amount you can do with this technique. I'm just scratching the surface. I've really enjoyed making this one. Never done anything quite like this before, and there it is in the flesh. The last shot is me holding it up like a proud artist. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and if you want to see any more of my work, then please do pop over to my website, www.winderlightbox.com. Thanks for watching.